Right, 23 September 2025, and today is turning out to be a very eventful day with many things happening since this morning. And I want us to look at the reactions that have taken place after the changes in the Politburo, a very important event that has taken place within ZANU-PF. So remember last week what I said. I said that Mnangagwa is going to move on the military, and Chiwenga is not the one who's going to come out on top in this current situation. What is going to happen is that first Chiwenga will be dismissed, and then he has to come back from outside. So if Chiwenga is going to be president, he must come from outside. He can't be president from the vice president position. It has never happened, and it will never happen. So what we're expecting now is a move against Chiwenga. Chiwenga has made the move, and Mnangagwa is now making his move. And we expect that Chiwenga will watch closely what happens. And then next week, that means by Friday, remember on Friday, we are expecting an announcement on who is behind Geza. According to the Zimbabwe Youth Action Platform, those guys are the ones who came out first. On top of everything else, the young man from Zimbabwe Youth Action Platform is the one who came out first and said they are going to reveal who's behind Geza. Because remember, everything is about Geza. The Mnangagwa side wants to deal with Geza once and for all. They are tired of dealing with Geza. So they want to deal with Geza once and for all. And particularly, they believe that there are people in the military who are supporting Geza. And this has been made clear by the response by Themba Mliswa. So Themba Mliswa has responded to the dismissal which has taken place, or the demotion that has taken place. And I watched Themba Mliswa very closely because I believe that he is one of the people that are close to what is going on. So let's quickly read at the tweets that he has put out. Now, he's busy tweeting as I'm speaking. So let's look at what Themba Mliswa is saying so that I can give you an updated context, because I was talking from a tweet from an hour ago. So let's look at the tweets that Themba Mliswa is putting out right now. So Themba Mliswa tends to delete his tweets. So I don't know if he's going to delete these ones, but let's look at what he said right now. So I'm going to display, just give me a second. I'm going to display the reactions that are taking place right now. But you must take note that this is not a small change. This is a very big change in ZANU-PF, and Mnangagwa is making his final move. There will be no other bigger change that Mnangagwa can make than dealing with Chiwenga and Geza. So that move has not been done properly in the past. He has restrained himself to making changes in the security sector. But now he's moving on people within ZANU-PF. We are talking here of the core of ZANU-PF. That is where we are now. So Themba Mliswa is tweeting, and I'm going to be showing you right now. So today we're not going to do Malawi. They've not announced, so I don't know what they're doing. We're not going to do Malawi now. We'll do Malawi whenever they come. I'll bring it here whenever they come. It appears as if today they're not going to go live or something of that nature. So let's look at Themba Mliswa. So here he says, it is deeply regrettable that certain individuals are leading VP Chiwenga down a perilous path of misinformation. While I maintain that opposing corruption is commendable, such opposition should not come at the expense of undermining the leadership or destabilizing the party. Such a mindset is reckless and potentially treasonous. Another oversight is the failure to recognize the considerable powers vested in the first secretary and president. The authority possessed is profound, as he has capacity to terminate one's political life with relative ease. As VP in Zimbabwe, one operates according to the discretion of the appointing authority, who is the sole elected official, whereas the VP serves at their behest. It is thus of practical importance to be in unison with the appointing authority. than misguided bystanders or advisors. And I want you to look at this particular one here, which says, Manga makunyanya kuderera mukuru wenyika. Now missiles are coming. This could be the first strike with more coming. I warned you about Ngwena. Munofurira vanhu kuvakuru kuti vaite zvisirizo. Now zvauya zvivharo. Right, that is one of them. And then I want to take you to the one which is very important. This is a warning to the military. So check it out. This was posted yesterday, but 1 hour ago, it has been trending. So let's look at this one. So here it is.
And the issue about what happened in the Popularity Bureau meeting is something that I don't agree with. Not the presentation itself, but the manner of the presentation is what people must understand. It's part of the presidium, the Vice President, retired General Chiwenga.
All right, so let's go to the military one. I think he made another one here.
Republic and so forth. Since the Second Republic, there is a certain people who believe that they own the country because they're the ones who brought the Second Republic and so forth. The Second Republic, so that people understand, was brought about by the people of Zimbabwe. And the army is the army of the people. There's no army that can go against its people and so forth. So that must be known. There is no individual. There is no... Vana Chamisa, they were involved. Vana Changirai, they were involved. We all came together as Zimbabweans.
Okay, so without spending too much time on Themba Mliswa, I want you to understand what's going on. So what's going on here is we now have two big moves that are left. That is a move against Chiwenga and a move against the military. So the military of Zimbabwe is suspected by Mnangagwa of backing or supporting Geza, who is one of the war veterans. And Chiwenga is obviously now out in the open. What Chiwenga did is he presented a dossier to Mnangagwa, accused Mnangagwa of participating in corruption, and asked Mnangagwa to deal with the corruption or else. So there was a warning to say, you must deal with the corruption or else. The Zimbabwe military then wrote a letter to Mnangagwa complaining about corruption. So there were 3 letters or 2 letters. That is Chiwenga's dossier, and then there was the military letters that went to Mnangagwa. After receiving those documents, Mnangagwa is said to have offered to resign. But then Chiwenga said to him, you cannot resign until you remove the people and get them arrested. That is Chivayo, Tagwirei, Delisha Ngwaya, Scott Sakupanya. Chiwenga then said, if you want to leave, you must first of all remove those people, then you can go. Unfortunately, what happened is that after that meeting, Mnangagwa came back and changed his mind. And these are the moves that you are seeing right now. Chiwenga, during his presentation, is also said to have said, if he had not brought him back, Mnangagwa was not going to be back in Zimbabwe because he was not present during the time when negotiations were taking place. And I want to show you the picture of the day that he reportedly presented as evidence. So this was a heated meeting. It was not a simple, it was one of the longest Politburo meetings. And these men have not seen eye to eye ever since. The next day, Mnangagwa and Chiwenga did not have a conference together. Mnangagwa passed or went past. He didn't attend the meeting that he was supposed to attend. So you can see here this tweet, and this tweet is by Dan the Gardener. Dan the Gardener. He's showing a picture of the day when negotiations took place. That is when Mugabe was removed. And you can clearly see the people were there. Chiwenga was there. Other people were there. And Chiwenga played a big role in the removal of Mugabe in a peaceful and bloodless way. So the question was then, what we did for you and we brought you back, is that what you're doing or you're now doing your own thing? And the confrontation was real. It was a real confrontation. It was supposed to end that day. We would have gotten out of the Politburo and got an announcement that Mnangagwa had stepped down. But that didn't happen because Chiwenga said, don't go now. First of all, deal with the corruption. So there are two possibilities. Maybe Mnangagwa is dealing with the corruption by removing Obed Mpofu. Maybe he's going to remove other people or get them arrested. I don't know. I don't want to make any assumptions. But what I can tell you is that the military is not going to stay the same. So the Zimbabwe military, the CIO, military intelligence, all these organizations that you see around the president, except maybe for President Mnangagwa, you're going to see changes in them. You've already seen changes at some level. So you've seen changes today in ZANU-PF, but that's not enough because the threat is not in the party. The threat is from the military, is in the government from Chiwenga, and also from externally, there is a threat on Mnangagwa. So Mnangagwa's threat is outside of ZANU-PF, but he has just made a change in ZANU-PF. If he was to leave it like this, he has done half a move, and he will have to deal with the problems all the way until the end of his term. So I don't think Mnangagwa is going to allow it so that he can continue to have these problems. And I believe that Mnangagwa is going to finish the move. So I believe that once he started this move, it will now be quick. So what is going to happen is going to be very quick. It's not going to be slow. Because once it's slow, his moves are going to be preempted. And a move against the military is going to be sudden. You're going to see a sudden move against the military. If he doesn't make that sudden move, I don't know what is going to happen. I don't think the Zimbabwe military is in a position to remove Mnangagwa. So that is what I said in the morning. I don't believe that they're in a position to remove Mnangagwa. I don't think they have the ability to install Chiwenga. And I don't believe that Chiwenga want to be installed. So the move that I expect right now is the removal of Chiwenga and then removal of many people in the military. If the other thing happens and they fight back, this is going to be extremely dangerous. So if the team of Chiwenga fights back, it's going to be bad, very bad. So whatever happens here, Chiwenga can't be left in that position. You won't see Chiwenga staying as vice president because the threat will be hanging above Mnangagwa's head. So the danger has to be neutralized. And I believe that they're going to move on Chiwenga very quickly. And they're also going to move in a broad way on the people in the security structures. So they moved on CIO last week. They moved on ZANU-PF today. And I believe that they will move on military intelligence, CIO, and military intelligence. They're going to move for those people who are there. And when I talk of military intelligence has largely remained untouched. In most of the changes that have happened, military intelligence has not been touched. We've not seen a lot of changes in MID, but I believe that there's going to be big changes coming in MID, and I don't think those are public. So normally those happens in secret, or they could have happened already, and we don't know about those changes. So what I expect is a move at the vice president's level, and I believe that that has got some legal requirements. Some things need to be done at a legal level to change a vice president. But in terms of the military, that should be taking place within the next few days, or some of it has already taken place within the military. Okay, I think we've covered everything. Let's look at what is happening in Malawi quickly. If I don't see any move in Malawi, I'm going to bring this to an end, and then we'll talk later on. So there's no announcement from Malawi at the moment. I'm not seeing any announcement. Right, so I don't see any announcement from Malawi. It appears they are still thinking. So I'll sit here until 10 p.m. and then I'll come back at 10 if there is an announcement taking place, and then we'll take it from there so that we update you on what is happening with the president or the former president of Malawi, Mutharika, and the current president, Chakwera. However, let's look at the comments so that you guys can understand. Law is law. So mukuru ngare mekedze mutemo wenyika. Pardon, my brother, I want to tell you the truth. You have good intentions, but presidents may be not for you. Journalism is, blood. Rapina papi, mkoma, mediation. Rapina papi. Gambakwe 2028 is not today. and then Sabuku, Mujiba, see what will happen. And then President Gambakwe, yes, in India, I won't be having a Politburo. So we won't have a Politburo. We won't have a cabinet. We won't have all that garbage. So let me tell you how we're going to structure. So how we're going to structure is we're going to have a president's office. Then we're going to have the Ministry of Tourism Infrastructure. That would be the biggest ministry. Ministry of Tourism Infrastructure. So that would be the biggest ministry. And then we're going to have 7 other ministries. In the provinces, we're going to have ministers of state. So that is 10 ministers of state and probably a minister of the diaspora. So that is 11. And that is, they will be responsible for the budgets in their own provinces. We're going to have a lot of devolution, not what you're thinking. So I think we've covered everything. Let's see if there's anything else. Sadly, ZANU-PF whistleblowers face backlash instead of protection. Mkopa Brian, you're right. But we always said it. Although I have great love for Chiwenga, you know that I respect Chiwenga a lot. And I don't think Chiwenga is acting with malice against Mnangagwa. I just believe that people don't understand where we are. Where we are about to get a new president in ZANU. So the outgoing president is influencing the incoming president. And Chiwenga is saying, I'm next in line. Let me get in. And the rest of the other guys who want to come in are saying, you are not next in line. We are also next in line. So both sides are going to fight each other until they remove Chiwenga. Chiwenga is going to be removed from that position. Otherwise, there will always be a problem in ZANU-PF. There will always be fighting. So I think for now, I've covered everything. Let us just wait the next 30 minutes. And if you see me, it means the Malawi guys are working. So now I'll go to gym. I'll do a little bit of gym for 20 minutes. And then I'll be back. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Watch carefully what Themba Mliso has said. This was a first strike. More are coming. If Mnangagwa doesn't finish the move, he's going to rule the day he started the move. Do you think Mnangagwa is stupid enough to make half a move? Remove CIOs, remove people in ZANU-PF Politburo, and then stop? I don't think so. I think Mnangagwa is going to finish the move. He's going to go after military. He's going to go after guys inside of MID, especially MID, and likely the war veterans, Geza, because they know where Geza is. They are probably going to go and get him now. So I believe that they will now go and get Geza and arrest him. So if I was Geza, I would hide very, very deep. I won't hide in the same spot where I was. I'll be gone. All right. I think this is all I had to say. Gambakwe for president. Yes. Waka broker. All right. I would like to thank all of you for watching. I'll see you again very, very soon. And a good night for now to you all.